Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Our weather team has been tracking storms on this hot and muggy Monday. Let's find out if they've all moved through or if we need to be on alert this evening. Hutch is here now with your No Wait weather. Hutch?
Andrea, thank you so much. The heat, really the story of the day. It has been hot, it has been muggy, and certainly stormy, damaging storms moving through the Lake of the Woods area. And those extended down into Otter Tail County, where we right now have some of the cooler readings in Wadena and Alexandria as the storms are moving through those locations. So the vast majority of us will continue to see the heat and humidity. The storm risk has moved off to the east for this evening, so that means as far as that goes, quiet between Fargo and Minneapolis. We have some stout thunderstorms working their way through the Alexandria area, heading to the south and east towards Sauk Center. So for us, high and dry. You can see the storms in the distance to the south and east. Temperatures slipping out of the 90s and into the 80s for most of our evening, both here and in Grand Forks. Overnight, we could see a few more thunderstorms develop, and it looks like a wild week of weather will tell you when this heat takes a break as well. All coming up in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. One person was injured, and authorities say they have a person of interest following a stabbing yesterday. Investigators in Becker County and Detroit Lakes say 20-year-old Tristan Matthew Wimmer was injured from multiple stab wounds to his torso and leg during a fight at a rural Detroit Lakes address. Wimmer was taken to the Detroit Lakes Hospital for treatment. Fargo police say 58-year-old Jonathan Wayne Lyles is the man who was found dead inside a burned storage unit yesterday. Officials say it happened around 2:30 Sunday morning when crews responded to 1725 First Avenue North on reports of a fire. When firefighters arrived, they found smoke coming from a unit on the north end. Within 10 minutes, the fire was put out. No other unit was affected. The fire department expects the cost of structural damage to be around $15,000. Authorities are still investigating after West Fargo Fire responded to a call at Bush Ag Industries. It happened Saturday morning. Fire crews say they were on scene for 18 hours battling the flames. The department says they not only battled the fire, but also dealt with very muggy and warm conditions. The department says while there's a lot of damage to the north end of the building, the south building was saved and can remain in operation. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Authorities want to thank the public after the safe return of the missing 20-year-old woman from Bemidji. Authorities say 20-year-old Tangela Aragon went missing last night around 11:20 when she told people she was going out to smoke and didn't come back. Police say she has since been found safe. The Red River Valley Fair has ended, but there are still plenty of county fairs and street fairs and other events that families can attend this summer. And since thousands of others will also be there, law enforcement agencies are reminding parents to be vigilant in keeping kids safe among the large crowds. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the Cass County Sheriff's Department today and has some advice.
The summer is filled with fun for all ages, so it's easy to forget those what-if plans for you and your kids. But before you head out the door to another carnival or fair, local law enforcement says it's not too late to set one up. And Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johnner says one of the first things on the list is to point out any safe place that your kids can go to if they get lost.
So if that child did have a concern, they felt like they had been separated from their parents or they had an emergency, that they could come to the sheriff's office to seek help.
Johnner added to remind your kids to keep a lookout for officers around as well.
We typically will space those resources throughout the area so that if someone is lost, that we have someone fairly close to all areas of the grounds where they could look for that person.
He says if your kids are going off by themselves for a while, to have them stay in groups and keep in constant communication, possibly even having a tracking app to always know where they are. And Johnner added to either take a picture of your kids that day or have recent pictures handy. So if they get lost, officials know exactly who they're looking for.
Giving a clothing description is good, but when you have a lot of people out there and a lot of people wearing similar type clothing, stuff like that, it's kind of hard to locate them. But if we have a picture, it's always a little better.
Now, Andrea, Sheriff Johnner said it's also a good idea to have a specific meeting place set up with your kids to come back to at the end of the day or at a certain time, as well as having a plan B ready in case of bad weather or any other emergencies. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Bailey. One man is facing multiple charges and sitting in jail today after police say he tried to drive off from a traffic stop and then charged an officer in Fargo. 26-year-old Abraham Nahi is facing charges of fleeing an officer in a vehicle, preventing arrest, and possession of marijuana. The incident started around 1 this morning after an officer pulled over a car in the 4300 block of 9th Avenue Circle South. Authorities tell us when the officer approached the car, Nahi was not complying and started to slowly back up. For safety reasons, police say the officer broke the driver's window. Authorities eventually got Nahi out of the car, but he then charged at an officer, causing him to fall. Both were taken to a hospital with minor injuries. Authorities in Fargo are working to get power restored to the intersection of 45th Street South and 32nd Avenue. This after a vehicle crashed into an electrical box at that corner around 2 Friday afternoon in Fargo. And that caused traffic signals there to turn off in all directions. That's creating some mayhem for drivers who are trying to keep track of whose turn it is without getting hit by another vehicle. And they must be doing a good job because Fargo police tell us there haven't been any other crashes at that intersection since Friday. We're also told a contractor is working at that intersection. Equipment is being ordered, and the city hopes the traffic signals will be up and running Thursday morning. In the meantime, Fargo police remind you, treat the intersection as a four-way stop. A woman was airlifted to a Twin Cities hospital after the motorcycle she was riding on hit a deer. It happened yesterday near Motley, Minnesota. The driver, a 68-year-old man, was taken to a hospital in Brainerd. The passenger is a 74-year-old woman. She was airlifted to a hospital. Her injuries are considered serious. One woman is in fair condition after she was airlifted to a Fargo hospital following a crash. It happened yesterday on County Road 12 in Polk County. Authorities say 63-year-old Dolores Fritz of McIntosh, Minnesota, was driving a vehicle that ended up in the ditch. The sheriff's department says it looks like multiple trees were hit before the car stopped. Fritz was taken to the Crookston Hospital and then airlifted to a Fargo hospital. Her passenger also needed medical attention. We don't know the extent of the injuries at this time. The sweltering heat may not be the only thing keeping us inside today. Amazon Prime's two-day event of online deals has many shoppers opting to stay in and order online. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz visits some one-of-a-kind mom-and-pop shops here in the Valley to see how they're faring and which shoppers are out and about bucking the trend.
On a hot Monday morning, you may not expect to see a ton of shoppers anyway. But some diehards could be found despite the heat and so-called epic deals on this Amazon Prime Day.
I don't like to sit in front of a computer. I like to hands-on and look at their ideas that they have put together.
When Becky Tani takes her 5-hour trek to Fargo, it's not just to visit family.
I do like the stores. I love the stores.
We definitely have customers that come from all over.
Christy Larkin, who owns Lori's, says Fargo is something of a hub for one-of-a-kind stores like hers.
We are a true boutique, meaning we offer limited quantities in each and everything item that we sell in here. So things are very special, very unique, and it's one of the reasons customers do seek us out.
That's why she says Lori's isn't so affected by Prime Day.
I mean, we definitely know that Amazon is out there and is certainly a competitor, but for us, customers really want to touch and feel and that customer service experience that they're able to get.
This is our only location.
And it's not just Lori's.
We do have a little bit more unique things here. People like to come in, touch, and see. So I don't really feel a drag down from Amazon a ton.
Are you aware that it's Amazon Prime Day today?
Yeah, I was.
Sonia Nisler of West Fargo says shopping online is convenient for her busy mom lifestyle, but she prefers brick and mortar.
I just like the experience of going into the stores. I think it's important to know that the size is right and that the fit is right. And sometimes when I order online, I often have to send things back because they don't fit right.
And while Tani looks forward to visiting Fargo for the shopping,
there is nothing where we live. They are closing.
She'd like it more if online shopping didn't shut everything down in her own small town. In Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Amazon Prime Day is today and tomorrow. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live, we'll tell you how you can keep your packages safe from package thieves. Moorhead police are reminding you to stay safe, stay alive, and stay out of trouble under the new hands-free law. It starts on August 1st in Minnesota. So authorities have released some tips on how you can stay safe on the roads. Cell phones should be put down, turned off, or placed out of reach. Music should be pre-programmed and arranged in an easy-to-access spot. Also, adjust mirrors and ventilation before traveling. When dealing with navigation, you should map out the destination and enter the GPS route in advance. And as far as eating and drinking goes, they say you should avoid messy foods and secure your drinks. Post Malone is coming to the Twin Cities this fall. The Xcel Energy Center announced today that the Grammy-nominated rapper will perform at the St. Paul Arena on September 26th with special guests Sway Lee and Tyla Yahweh. Tickets for the show go on sale Friday, but Citi card holders can get early access beginning Tuesday.